Hey friends. Okay, so it is a new moon in Leo today, but it's also a solar eclipse. This energy is going to bring so much to us. It's super fun too because we just had our full moon in Aquarius. We had our Lionsgate portal, which we're still in. Today's the last day as we're heading out of Lionsgate portal. So it's just so, I don't know, there's just so much energy, right? And this is kind of like that final release, if you will, as we're heading out of Lionsgate portal so that you can allow the universe to bring you everything that you've been wanting to like manifest and call in and bring in. So today, even though it's a new moon, it's not manifestation energy. So we've been in this manifestation energy with Lionsgate where we've been like releasing a lot at the beginning of it, especially with that full moon. We've been releasing, we've been doing so much work. We've been calling in, we've been opening up to the abundance, to everything that this Lionsgate portal has to offer us, right? We're really have been opened up to manifesting with the universe and just ordering everything that we want. Like I know a lot of gurus like to talk about it like ordering like on a menu, like you're like at the Cheesecake Factory where there's like every single thing possible, right? And you're ordering all of the things. And now we're just letting the universe continue to bring it to us. So, that being said, I'm going to dive into what this solar eclipse means, what this, new moon is bringing us, and why it's a little different than most of our new moons, right? Because we're not going to be using this as manifestation. But don't let that deter you from this hype and from this excitement of Lionsgate, because truly, it's really exciting because this is kind of giving us that final moment where the universe is like, hey, I've been like working on your order, but like, I really don't have those olives for your omelet or whatever, right? So can we just do that final release so that it can come to you perfect as what it's supposed to be, what it's intended to be from the universe? Okay, so let's dive in. Hey, friend, welcome to the Ready to Rise podcast. This is the podcast for ambitious, successful women who've checked off all the boxes: the career, the routines, the self-help books, and therapy. We've done it all. But if you're still feeling numb, stuck, or like you're just going through the motions, you're in the right place, because I've totally been there, and I've healed myself using the tools that I now teach. I got certified in them so that I could help other women do the same. I'm your host, Audrey Rose, a registered nurse and somatic life coach, and I'm here to help you stop just coping, stop just going through the motions, and actually start feeling good again in your life, feeling happy again. Each week, we explore nervous system regulation, emotional wellness, and rituals that are rooted in ancient wisdom, ancient practices, so you can stop just going through the motions and stop just getting by and start really feeling lit up and alive and fully plugged in again. This is about real happiness, the kind that fills your body, lights you up, and helps you create a life that you are obsessed to wake up for. So are you ready? Because I'm excited to help you feel like you again. Okay, so a solar eclipse can only happen on a new moon, right? You probably already know this. If you already know, you can fast forward a little 15-second update for those who don't know. But new moon is when the moon is passing between Earth and the sun, right? That's why the new moon is dark, right? We're seeing the shadow. So a solar eclipse is when the alignment is just precise enough that the moon is blocking the sun from our view, right? That moon is just sliding right in the middle. So every solar eclipse happens on a new moon because of this reason. Most months, the moon passes between Earth and the sun, and it's fine, but it doesn't align like that, right? It's maybe tilted a little bit above or a little below the sun's path in our sky, so we don't see that big shadow. But today, the alignment is just right, so it's going to be an eclipse. And it's landing in Leo based on where the sun and the moon are sitting in the zodiac. Everything is aligned in Leo right now. This is a big Leo energy day. It's not just new moon energy, right? This is like literally a new moon with an eclipse, all of the thing, right? So it's exciting, you guys. It's a little bit different though, and that's what we're going to dive into. Usually we use a new moon to like get out and unwind and refresh ourselves and really start to manifest and to bring things into existence, but it's a little bit different because it's an eclipse. So In old traditions, like Vedic astrology teaches us a lot of this, eclipses weren't seen as a bad omen, right? People call this an inauspicious time, meaning it's just not auspicious. It's not the most exciting. It's not the most auspicious day. But that doesn't mean that it's bad or that it's scary or that it's like Friday the 13th energy, right? Like in the old context of that, but you know what I mean. So it's just a signal that the normal order of things is getting interrupted. And it's giving us this chance to bring things that are hidden to the surface. Things that look very stable, things that we weren't even expecting might be coming up to be like, okay, it's time for a little shift. It's a reframe, right? It's not that something terrible is going to happen. It's just that the energy is better suited for certain things rather than others right now, in auspicious energy. So, this is the first Leo solar eclipse since January 2019. So this is why everybody online is talking about this big energy moment of, we're very much in alignment with things that happened back in, I think, August of 2017. We're very much in alignment with things that happened to you back in January of 2019. So what kind of things were happening, right? What kind of things were coming up for you back then? And those might be the themes that are coming up for you again right now. Maybe it's a promotion energy. Maybe it's just moving. Like maybe it's some big, huge thing, right? Like a big relationship change or moving or something like that. Or it might be something just as subtle as like, okay, I need to release that old pattern that is impacting my relationships, right? It could just be something subtle like that. But since we haven't had a Leo solar eclipse for a while, this is something that is going to be impacting your energy. So if you're feeling kind of off or weird or funky, it's fine. Leo rules our identity, our self expression. You already know it rules our confidence, right? Being seen. Leo is very much like how we are seen, the spotlight that we have on ourselves, how others are perceiving that. So this eclipse is going to be stirring things up around these types of themes specifically. Where in your life have you been shrinking? Where have you lost confidence? Where have you been trying to get this extra validation in your life or hiding your real voice? Where have you been in lack of your self expression, right? Where have you not been allowing yourself to be seen? Those are the kinds of things that are coming up right now. Maybe you have this amazing way that could take something like I have this group that I'm in. I'm not going to get into the details because this will get to be a long episode otherwise, but I have a group that I'm in, massive hobby of mine, and I can see certain things that I really want to bring them a step further in this group, right? Something really cool that I think we could be doing. And I feel like I've kind of brought it up quietly, not really. Okay, have I spoken about this? And so I finally am like, okay, it's time. It's time to stop hiding that voice. It's time to be confident, step into that confidence and bring it up and talk about it, right? Instead of trying to be quiet and waiting for validation, waiting for somebody else to bring it up. It's like, no, let's stop hiding our voice. Let's freaking do it, right? Doors are opening for you right now. They might not be so obvious. Like there's not like a blimp or like a big banner in the sky that's like explaining to you what to do, right? This is just low key happening. So you have to be paying attention, which is perfect for today because I will get into that in a little bit. But today is a day of going internally and picking up on those signs, right? Getting close to spirit, listening in to what it is that's happening for us. So doors are really opening for us. And again, they might not be very loud, which is why it's important to listen in. There's quiet redirections happening to you. And I don't think that you'll see the full understanding of this, the full big picture for a few months. It's going to take some time. But as it's opening up, just noticing those subtle changes, noticing, okay, that was a no, but it's going to become a yes to something else, right? Maybe today there's a no for this thing, or maybe I heard, I got some redirection, right? What do they say that rejection is redirection? I think that's what people say. But truly, that's what it is today. So paying attention to that, maybe that door didn't open for me because another one is supposed to, right? Where is that happening in your life in terms of all of those themes of the confidence, the self-expression, being seen, being validated? Maybe there was something that you really wanted, right? Like you wanted to get this starring role in some kind of like a play. I'm feeling called to share that with you, right? Or you were supposed to, you went to audition for something and you didn't get that, or you went to a job interview and you didn't get it. That's because there's something bigger in store for you. So we have to work on not letting these things shake our confidence, our self-expression, not letting us shrink down, right? But instead figure out, hey, wait, that was teaching me a lesson in those themes, self-confidence, all of that, so that I could become something even bigger and I could take on a role even greater. So getting to that, so you can figure these things out and let it change your life. How do we work with this time today? How do we go inward, right? Today is all about going inward. It's not the typical new moon manifestation period. We don't want to do that. So an eclipse is blocking the light. And in Vedic astrology, this is kind of the whole theme here. Eclipses it's obscuring the light, right? It's not this clarity moment where you have the sun coming down on you and you have the new moon energy coming into you. It's not like that. It's like the moon is blocking the light from the sun during this time. The sun is something that brings us so much clarity. It's our lifeline, right? It's our energy. So when that energy is getting blocked, eclipse is blocking it. This isn't the moment for us to do something crazy, exciting new. It's not a time for signing papers. It's not a time for making big decisions. It's not a time to have some big, huge launch, right? Or do something crazy, or to even take that job interview, right? It's not a time to force big things to happen. And it's also not a time for you to go outside and do anything big, right? You're actually supposed to be indoors with the curtains drawn, is what they like to say. So in Vedic astrology, eclipses are associated with disruption, uncertainty, and periods of the accelerated change, right? But during this time, we don't want to get ourselves out into this obscured light. So usually light brings us the clarity to see what is, happening, right? Again, like I said, it's our energy, it's all of that stuff. So we want to minimize unnecessary exposure or any external activity during this eclipse. I actually was scheduled to go do a hike or something today, and I literally canceled it because we don't want to be absorbing that energy, that interrupted or that blocked energy. We don't want to gather outside, travel, do things like that during this eclipse. We want to actually create a protected and quiet environment. So they say we pull the curtains. Even if it's just like my curtains are just kind of like that, very simple, I don't know, like linen curtains, right? I think that just having like a little bit of a block, like I'm not saying sit in a dark room all day. I'm just saying have a little bit of a block so that energy, that interrupted clarity, that interrupted, life force energy isn't coming in that way, if that makes sense, right? So it's a good time for releasing, surrendering, and purification. And if you follow my favorite Kundalini instructor, my favorite just person, Jai Dev, he talks a lot about the purification during this time. In Kundalini, we're using practices to purify, to cleanse, because what we want to do is allow in, once that energy shifts, we want to allow all of that clarity to come through and heal us, right? And help us move forward. But for right now, today, releasing. Hey friend, I am so excited to pop in here really quick and announce that the Rise retreats are back. So if you've been feeling exhausted or irritated or like you just overall lost your spark, but you can still go to work and crush it, right? Pick up the kids, do all the things. Then you feel later like you're just going through the motions, right? You're numbing with wine, you're leaving all your friends on red, you're yelling at your husband because he cannot find the ketchup again. Like, absolutely, I've been there because it's right in front of his face, honestly. But still, right? This is the sign that your nervous system is trying to just tell you that it's overwhelmed. It can't take anymore, right? And I know that this is trending on Instagram, but the thing is, you really don't need to just quit your career that you've worked your brains off for, right? No. So it's time to just process some of the stress, regulate our nervous system, reset, so that we can hear ourselves again, right? We can relax, we can feel like ourselves again. And some of us don't really know where to start. Like that was me a few years ago on my burnout journey. I had no idea where to start when I started to feel all of these things, exhausted, irritated, all of that. And that is what Rise retreats are for. So we are going to be meeting for a 3-day experience. This retreat is going to be in the hills of Castro Valley, California. It's so freaking gorgeous. This is like a huge, beautiful gated house up in the, mountains. We have all of these really beautiful balconies that are like in the trees. I can't even explain. Like, pictures are on IG. You have to check it out because it is freaking gorgeous. We are going to be meeting October 9th through 11th, and there are just very limited spots. I keep them very intimate so that I can truly dive in with each of you and kind of tailor the experience, right? A few spots are already taken. I know. And the link is in the show notes, or, DM me personally so that we can connect. We can get on a little coffee chat and just find out if it's a good fit for you. And you can come and join us. Purifying so that when it comes through, we are ready. When the universe comes through with our order at the end of the Lion's Gate, we are ready. Got it? So not so much leaning into, I want to call this in, or I want to do this right now. No, it's more so, what am I ready to finally put down, get rid of, let go of, right? What are we trying to let go of so that we can fully step into what's next for us? You guys all know, you all have stories, right? When we try to force decisions or we try to make things happen during bad timing like this, it doesn't work out for us. It always works out wrong. Think of like if the guy that you prayed to marry in high school, right? You're like, thank God that didn't work out. That's exactly it. We never want to force these things to happen and then have them happen now in bad energy, right? Not that today's bad energy, it's just not auspicious energy is the whole point, right? So what I want you to do is really go internal. Less of us scrolling and looking outward, right? Less noise, less outside noise. I want you to stop thinking about like what other people are doing and what would be good for me and all of that, and actually pay attention to going inward. Be still. It's a good time to pray, to meditate, journal even. Just knowing that putting your attention inward is going to be truly, truly the biggest thing that you can do for yourself right now. If something is feeling off, if something's feeling weird, I don't want you to make big decisions or force things to have the clarity, right? I want you to actually step away from big conversations, step away from these big decisions if you can, because your clarity is just not there right now. But what I want you to do is really get internal, if that makes sense. My dog's coming to say hi, if you guys, I guess you can't see her. But anyway, skip the big conversations, skip the big things. Choose to come back into yourself, release. Look at the patterns that have been going on in your life. Let things come up. If you can do like a good meditation today and really just sit with this and sit with why has this been coming up for me? Or why has this been coming up for me? Or I really focused on wanting certain things during Lionsgate Portal. And that means I really have to get serious with myself right now about releasing, right? I have to truly release the patterns, the guilt, the parts of me that don't allow myself to step forward as my most confident self, to step forward as my most self-assured self, right? I have to really release those things so that I can step into that version of me who is ready to accept everything that will be coming through. So it's really this time of going inward and of listening to yourself, right? So letting go of what no longer serves you. We already know that. Trusting the process, allowing that quiet manifestation from the Lionsgate portal to fall into place quietly while the universe clears the way. We're not focused on the manifestation process. We're focusing on the releasing and just trusting that process, that what we have called in is coming. And just staying open-minded while the eclipse guides your soul's journey, knowing that what's meant to you will arrive, right? Exactly all of those things. I want you to just remember that the eclipse is the beginning of many new and exciting opportunities that will begin to unfold for us. And we know that. That's exactly what this time is. But it's just spending today not focused on the manifestation portion of it and it's all about, today is all about less initiation, less manifestation, less external movement, right? Staying inside, truly not being outside where that light is hitting you. Again, like I know I've stressed that, but that's all Vedic astrology, right? And just having more contemplation, more going inward, more releasing, more inner listening instead. And that's truly what's going to bring you to that goal. So if you could ask yourself a couple of questions, you don't have to journal if you don't want to, but you could really just sit down and just kind of ask yourself and contemplate on these. What truth has been hidden from me? And asking yourself that question, because I think that we hide a lot from ourselves. What truth has been hidden from me? What pattern has reached its completion? And what am I ready to stop carrying? Truly leaning into those things. What am I ready to stop carrying? What has reached its completion? And what truth has been hidden from me? And just remembering that it's just a time to let ourselves open up to the inner world. And I think that we so often try to avoid that, right? We oftentimes try to avoid going deep, going inward. We always want to know what's next, what's more, what else, right? And it's not a time for that. It's just a time to dig deep and go inside and understand ourselves even better. And once we master those kinds of things and we learn those kinds of things, the manifestation process will take care of itself. But first, we have to just listen to ourselves so that it can come through as beautifully as it's supposed to. You guys, I love this. I love you so much. Thanks for listening. I will be back with so much more in the coming time, with just more spirituality episodes like this, where as we follow our moon series. And I'll also be coming in with just so much. I have a lot to share about nervous system regulation right now and burnout as well. So you already know where to find me at Hello Audrey Rose on Instagram. If you have any suggestions, like what you are really wanting to listen to, because that's something I love to do, is hear what you're wanting to hear about, what you're wanting to learn more about, and go find an expert in that field. And I love having conversations with people who just have so much to share with us, right? So that's another wonderful thing that I just love to do. But until I see you next time, I hope you have a blessed and beautiful week, and take care. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Ready to Rise podcast. It means so much to me to have you here and to get to share all of this with you. If this one resonated, literally just send this to a friend, share it with her right now, because there's so many women out there who really need this information. And I would also love it if you could take a quick screenshot, throw it up on Instagram, tag me at Hello Audrey Rose so that I can connect with you and get to know you. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Have a blessed and beautiful day, and I will see you next time.